A system that can decide to launch nuclear missiles, even when no human is left alive to give the order. No president, no generals, no command center, just machines, sensors, and one final decision made automatically. This was not science fiction, this was real. It was called the Soviet Dead Hand System, also known as perimeter. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union lived under constant tension. Both sides had thousands of nuclear weapons ready to launch at any moment. The biggest fear was simple. What if one side launched a surprise attack and wiped out the leadership of the other? No leaders means no response. No response means no deterrence. And if deterrence fails, the entire balance of power collapses. The Soviet Union wanted to remove that risk completely. So they built something extreme, a system that would guarantee retaliation, even if no one was alive to press the button. The idea behind Dead Hand was not random or reckless. It followed a strict logic. First, the system would be activated during high-risk situations. Not always on, but ready when tension was high. Then it would start monitoring. It looked for multiple signals. Seismic activity that could indicate nuclear explosions, radiation levels rising suddenly, atmospheric pressure changes, communication failures with military leadership. Now here is the key part. If the system detected signs of a nuclear attack, and at the same time it could not reach Soviet command authorities, it would assume the worst. That leadership had been destroyed. At that point, instead of stopping, the system would move forward. It would send a launch signal through a network of special command missiles. These missiles didn't carry warheads. They carried instructions. They would fly over Soviet territory and broadcast launch orders to nuclear silos, submarines, and bombers. In simple terms, even if the entire command structure was gone, the retaliation would still happen automatically. This system changes one critical thing. It removes humans from the final decision. In most nuclear systems, a human must confirm the launch. There are checks, procedures, and hesitation. Here, that hesitation is removed. The system does not panic. It does not doubt. It does not wait for confirmation beyond its programming. If the conditions are met, it acts. From a strategic point of view, this made the Soviet Union almost impossible to disable with a first strike. Even if you destroyed everything, you would still be hit back. That is what made it effective as a deterrent. Think about what this means for both sides. For the enemy, it creates certainty. You cannot win with a surprise attack. There is no scenario where you strike first and avoid retaliation. For the side that owns the system, it creates a different kind of control. You don't need to rely entirely on human survival or communication systems. But it also introduces a new fear. What if the system makes a mistake? What if sensors misread data? What if communication fails for a non-nuclear reason? Now you have a machine making a decision that cannot be reversed. This is where things become unclear. After the fall of the Soviet Union, some officials confirmed that a version of this system existed. There have been claims that it was modernized and still operates in some form under Russia, but details are limited. Most of the system is classified. Technical designs are not publicly available. And official statements are rare and often vague, so what we know comes from fragments, interviews, and indirect confirmations. You might expect a system like this to be widely known, but it is not. There are a few reasons. First, the technical complexity. It is not easy to explain how such a system works without simplifying heavily. Second, the lack of verified data. Most information cannot be confirmed independently. Third, the discomfort. This topic forces people to confront a reality where machines can make irreversible global decisions. That is not easy to turn into entertainment. The Dead Hand system was built to solve one problem. How do you guarantee a response? When no one is left to respond, the answer the Soviet Union chose was clear. You remove the need for humans at the final step. You trust the system. Whether that makes the world safer or more dangerous is still open to debate. But one thing is certain, some of the most powerful decisions ever designed were meant to be made without us.